For 16 years, DJ Bob has been your go-to source for everything pop culture, past, present, and what's coming next.
We live and breathe pop culture just like you, connecting with everyone from well-known names to everyday heroes.
And some people you might not have heard of.
DJ Bob doesn't just interview people. He dives into their stories, their passions, and challenges, building a community of inspiring, creative, and driven individuals along the way.
Join DJ Bob as he explores the entertainment world and the conversations that really matter.
This is the DJ Bob Show. Roll it.
It doesn't really become real until you say it. So, season 16 is underway, starting now. Welcome to our inaugural episode of season 16 of the podcast, the DJ Bob Show. I'm glad you're here. And what better way to kick off this incredible new season with an incredible guest? Joining me today is the wonderful Terry Fator, ventriloquist, performer, just a wonderful guy. You may know him from America's Got Talent, and he's been touring for years and years. And he's here with us to talk about his brand new tour, Pure Imagination, going on tour across the country right now. As we're recording this, he's in Pennsylvania and Ohio this weekend. But check his website, terryfator.com, for a tour date nearest you. And we talk about the tour and what to expect from it, but also we talk to Terry and Winston about his journey and overcoming challenges and trying new things and inclusivity. It's a beautiful conversation, and I was so lucky to have it. We've been planning this one for a few years, so instead of me talking about it, why don't we get into it? Enjoy my chat with Terry. Terry, first of all, thank you so much for joining us today. This is wonderful.
Thank you for having me. This is a delight.
And how I want to start this, and we'll get to all the tour and all that stuff in just a second, but your journey is so inspiring to me because it tells me and many others that are different or the odd one out that they can do what they love despite whatever people might say about them or their differences. So what does it mean to you to be able to show people that are even the littlest bit different that they can create and they can do and they can dream?
Yeah, it's wonderful because every person, and I truly believe this, every person is gifted in some way. And we need to find what it is that is our gift and focus and work on that. And no matter who we are, we can become the best we're capable of at whatever that gift is. And so it just takes a lot of hard work, determination. A lot of people don't have the gumption to actually put the work in. I've spent, they say it takes 10,000 hours of work on something to become an expert. I've spent hundreds of thousands of hours perfecting what I do. And if it's something you're passionate about, if it's something you love, then go for it. But just make sure that you understand that it's not going to come easy. And the most rewarding things are the things we work hard for, though, anyway. So that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing that we have to work at things.
And something that you and I bond over is that we both knew that we were good at something when we were younger. I mean, I started doing this show when I was 15 years old. I'm 31 now.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you found something that you're passionate about, something that you love, something that you want to do, and you've been working at it and making a career at it, and I think that's just, man, I love that. I love that story. It's just as inspiring as my story, which I feel like is very inspiring to other people.
You've been at this for a little bit. So, but what makes this round of shows, this tour, different than all the others?
I've been doing this now for about 50 years, almost 51, coming up on 51 years. I've been doing this, and I've been in Vegas. I was a headliner. I had a residency in Vegas for 18 straight years. I've retired from that residency and I'm doing limited engagements now. I'll be doing, 10, 12 shows total for the year in Vegas as opposed to 200 shows a year in Vegas. And I've created so many iterations and different shows. And the reason I think this, I'm hearing this from almost every person that's seeing the show that have seen me multiple times, that this is the best show I've ever put together. And I think part of it is that I'm more emotionally invested. It's almost like a autobiographical type thing where I'm really bringing a lot of myself, telling stories about my time on America's Got Talent, and also just different parts of my life through puppets, characters, songs, humor. The show is incredibly funny. You'll laugh very hard throughout the entire show, but it's also very emotional. I take you to places that you may not be expecting to see at a ventriloquist show, because it's so much more than just a ventriloquist show. It's a spectacular that was you're going to leave feeling as though you've been through every possible emotion and you'll feel on top of the world. And that feeling will stay with you for several days, if not weeks. And I'm hearing that feedback. And so that's what I think makes this different. It's not your typical show. You're going to leave feeling like you've really experienced something important and fun.
The DJ Robert Show. No, Bob. What did you say, Robert? I don't know. I just didn't feel I knew him well enough. Well, I do, and his name is Bob.
It's the DJ Bob Show.
And not to be philosophical, but do you feel like that this is like the most you that you've bared on stage, that you've shown?
Yeah, I think that's a really good way of saying it. That's an incredibly eloquent way of putting it, because I haven't had anybody describe it, but it's the most me that people have ever seen. Other than back in June of 2025, I did a symphony show with a 60-piece orchestra, and that's where I kind of came up with the idea for this particular show, was bearing my soul a little more than I have, or actually a lot more. And don't get me wrong, the show is very funny. People are telling me they've laughed harder than they have in years after seeing my show. So it's definitely an experience, something you're going to take with you, and I just don't want anybody to miss it. It's such a fun show.
In the beginning of our time together, we talked about inclusivity and making sure that others are included, even the odd one out. How do you think that is exemplified in this new show that you have here?
Well, it's really taking an art form that has been relegated to a minor part of the entertainment industry. In fact, people say ventriloquism is on the low end of the totem pole of entertainment, kind of like down there with mimes and other types of stuff. And so to be able to take something that was already marginalized and lift it to a level that has not been seen in generations. Because at one point, one of the most popular radio shows, millions, 50 and 60 million people a week were listening to it, was Edgar Bergen, but that was way back in the 1930s and 40s. And so it's been literally almost 100 years since ventriloquism has had a popularity like that. And so to be able to take something, as in your words, marginalized, an aspect of entertainment that has been marginalized, and show that, that particular venue of entertainment can be elevated, just like somebody else who might be marginalized can elevate themselves in what they do. And so it's, we're all kind of working on this together of breaking the glass ceiling. People say, you can't accomplish that, you do this, or you can't accomplish that because you're this way. And so this really, my whole entire show is kind of about that.
Well, to be honest, I think we need more of that, especially in the times we're in, where everything is so segmented. We all need to be together and enjoy this unified experience.
It's so true. They want to put us all in boxes, don't they? And they want us to separate into tribes. And I'm like, nope, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your politics are. It doesn't matter what your religion is. It doesn't matter. To me, we're all going to come together and laugh together. And I wish we could all do that more often. And that's what my show is about unification and bringing people in. You're going to be able to forget about the political world. You're going to be able to forget about the problems you're having in your life, and just for an hour and a half, become a kid again and laugh and laugh. And also, we might bring a little tear to your eye in a positive way, with a little bit of emotion. So it's really just a show that's going to take you on an emotional roller coaster for sure.
I don't want to spoil too much, but I'm going to spoil something for a second. There is a great Broadway moment in this show where you're doing a straight up Broadway number, and I've heard you say that somebody on Broadway said that it's the best you've ever sounded. So what was that like to hear that, and what was that process like?
That was an amazing moment because I had a couple of Broadway legends came to my show just a few weeks ago, and they said that was one of the best renditions of that particular Broadway song they've ever heard. And it's a song that I do. I have a charity, the Terry Fator Foundation, and we work with mostly military veterans and first responders, families, Gold Star families, who are families of those who have been killed or injured in the line of duty. And that's the focus. But we also work with with childhood cancer, with childhood blindness, with people with dementia and brain injuries. And the Terry Fator Foundation really has we do a lot of work, but we really mostly focus on military and first responders. And so I do the song "Bring Him Home" from Les Miserables. And to have, I always felt like I could sing, but they legitimized my ability to sing by telling me that these are Broadway legends who have won Tony Awards and have been in Broadway for decades. And they said it was one of the most touching and best renditions they've ever heard. It really kind of made me feel legitimate and valid as a actual singer, not just a guy who does puppets and has their puppets sing. So that was a big moment for me. Thank you for mentioning that, by the way.
Because I'm a Broadway fan and a Broadway guy myself, and to see that it was so beautiful, because that song is so synonymous in the world of the stage, and people do it all the time, but you could really feel it in the moments that I saw. It was great.
Thank you. And I'll be doing that in the show this weekend as well. So,
and people can check out tour dates and see where you're at your website and other places, right? Social media.
Yes, terryfator.com has my schedule. We started off with a 30 city tour, but now we're up to over 40. And we're continuing to add shows for the second half of the year. So I think we may be up 60 to 80 cities this year, which is going to be a lot of fun. Well, I love traveling.
If you make it to Long Island again, I want to see you.
I hope we can. That'd be wonderful.
I'd love to meet up and chat and hang out. That'd be wonderful.
That's wonderful. I'd love to do that. Yeah.
Because you've been here a bunch. I don't know the last time you were here, but you've been here a lot.
I have, but the thing is that I'm always writing new shows and putting new things in, and so anytime you come and see me, if you come and see me year after year after year, you're going to see a little bit different show and different things, different characters, different. It's just what I like to do. I like to push the boundaries of my abilities, and And so I'm, incredibly excited. We're going, the 28th, I'm doing the New Philadelphia, Ohio, Kent State University. Um, and of course, and then also March 1st, I'm going to be doing Warren, Ohio. So I don't know how far those two cities are apart, but if you're anywhere in those areas, you can see the show. And if you love the show on the 28th, maybe you'll come and see the one on the 1st. Just take a little drive.
And then you'll see some regulars.
Yeah, there you go. I love that.
Yeah. So I have to say, you know, Winston is always with you, right?
Yes, he is.
I have a couple questions for him if he's
Okay.
around.
I'm here. Hi, Bob. How you doing?
I have to ask you this, my friend. Um, when you were on America's Got Talent with Terry and you got to sing with Kermit the Frog, was that intimidating?
Not at all. No, Kermit the Frog is a huge inspiration for me, and I just have always loved him.
In fact, can I say, don't interrupt me? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. In fact, I actually exist because of Kermit the Frog.
Can I say?
Yeah, you tell the story.
Okay. So what actually happened was I was doing an actual Kermit the Frog impression with a Kermit the Frog puppet that I'd bought on eBay. And when I went on America's Got Talent, I wanted to do What a Wonderful World. You want to sing a little, Winston?
Yeah.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. So I was doing that with the Kermit the Frog puppet, but the Muppets would not allow me to use a Kermit the Frog puppet on television. So I had to create a turtle
Who could do an impression of Kermit the Frog?
Exactly. So that's actually how that happened. And so, but you mentioned that I got to sing with Kermit the Frog. That had been a dream, and I'm not joking. I tell this story when I'll do the show this weekend, and I tell it in my shows. I started dreaming of singing with Kermit when I was 4 years old, and I wanted so badly to sing a song with him. And I actually got to do that on television with Kermit the Frog when I was 42 years old on America's Got Talent. So talk about a dream come true. And it was just surreal to be able to look to my left, and there he was, Kermit the Frog, singing along with me. It was just one of the great highlights of my life for sure.
So, Winston, what do you hope audiences take away from this show? Because our audiences, you know, all across the country. So throughout these days, what can people expect?
That's a good question. What do you think, Winston?
The thing is that I know that a lot of people are having trouble. They're maybe they're sick, or maybe they're having trouble paying their mortgage, or they're worried about things. And the thing about our show, especially because I'm in it,
You're right.
yeah, is that we're going to make you forget all of those negative things, and you're going to get to become a kid again just for a little while.
And by the way, the show is not it's not like a children's show. It's a clean show. We tap dance on the line a little bit. We
A
do
lot of innuendo.
yes, innuendos and double entendres. But so it's not like a squeaky clean, but it is appropriate for families. And the thing is, though, is that everyone gets to become a child again. And the reason I say that is because
Yeah, he has like these puppets and inanimate objects that talk
exactly like a turtle.
like a turtle. Wait, I'm a puppet?
Yeah, we'll talk later about that. So, but so Winston, he doesn't understand that he is. But that's the whole thing, though, is that's why I call the show Pure Imagination, because just like when you were a child and you used your imagination, you're going to come in and you're going to sit down and you're going to check your reason at the door, and you're going to believe turtles can talk and sing and tell jokes, and all of these different fun characters and puppets, and we're going to bring you through all the emotions. And so that's really what the show is about, is to uplift your spirit. And that's my goal. And I can guarantee you we're going to accomplish that goal when you come and see me.
So we've been sharing this time together, and I kind of want to turn the table because we've had a lot of shared experiences, you and I, about overcoming things and whatnot. So do you have any questions for me about my work or what I do? Is there anything that you're curious about?
Yeah, I think I would love to know what is it that got you interested in this, and how is it that you first started? I mean, obviously, you said you've been doing it since you said 2015. Is that right?
I've been doing it since I was 15. So
Oh, since you were 15. Okay, wow.
I've been doing it since 2010.
Oh, that's amazing. 2010. And so what was it that got you inspired, that gave you the bug that made you say, this is what I have to do?
I had been I'd been working for a lot of different radio stations, like internet stations and just low power FM stations, and I couldn't commit to a weekly schedule. So I kept getting fired. And one of the bosses said to me, "Look, you can't commit to this, but there's this new thing called podcasting. You might want to give that a try." And if he hadn't said that, I don't know where I'd be. Because
Isn't that amazing?
I could do it on my own timetable. I could do it my own way. And it didn't matter the formalities or whatever people saw of me. I could just do it on my own accord.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's such a great story. I love that. And it just shows you though that when you decide you have a passion for something, and that's what I love about the internet. Is the internet allows people, just like your story is, it allowed you to be able to say, hey, I want to create something that is all my own. And you start developing a following, and people want, they get interested in what you have to say and the guests that you have. And so I just think that's marvelous, Bob. I think that's wonderful.
So my final question for the both of you, Winston and Terry, is if you were like, I know you guys are so close and so attached, but if you were stuck in a house with each other for like 2 whole years and you couldn't leave the room, would you guys be able to last?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, we would actually, we obviously could, because we're stuck in the house of my brain 24 hours a day for the last,
What, 20 years?
yeah, 20 years.
Yeah. I've been a part of his psyche now for 20 years. I got to tell you, I need psychiatric help. I think he does too.
I think I do too.
If you ever need some respite, you have a safe space here to hang out.
Oh, thank you.
So, where can people check out tour dates, merchandise, all of it?
Yeah, you can check out tour dates, merchandise at terryfator.com. And don't forget that, when you purchase something from the store on terryfator.com, 100% of the profits of everything you buy, t-shirts, caps, baseball caps, cards, deck of cards, puppets, 100% of the profits goes to the Terry Fator Foundation. And we work with all sorts of amazing charities. We specialize in military veterans and first responders charities of people that have been injured or killed, the families of the people that have been killed. And so in the line of duty. So all of the profits there, you can find my tour dates. And we also make sure you check out my socials. Everything is at Terry Fator. And we do tons and tons of videos. We're always releasing videos of songs and jokes and all sorts of things.
So it's a lot of fun. It really is.
Well, as you said, Terry, in the beginning of our chat, this is a delight. Indeed it was. And thank you both, Terry and Winston, for joining me today. I really love it.
Thank you, Bob. Wait, I'm a puppet?
It's the DJ Bob Show.